Hey Cougs, welcome to Pathway to Coug Day 4. I'm so excited to have you here. We're almost through our training series. We're going to keep on moving. And like always, we're going to get started with acknowledgement of America's first people. Washington State University locations statewide are on the homelands of Native peoples who have lived in this region from time immemorial. The university expresses its deepest respect for and gratitude towards these original and current caretakers of the region. WSU Pullman is on the homelands of the Nez Perce tribe and the Palouse people and remains steadfast in its support of tribal sovereignty and the inclusion of Native voices in teaching, research, and programming. Hey Cougs, just a quick reminder about the Coug Day interest form. This is a requirement to come to Coug Day. If you are interested in coming, you have to sign up to come. The Pathway to Coug Day training series is just that. It's a training series to help those who sign up. Now, we've opened it up to just global students, so I have a lot of you that are just coming for connection and just to kind of interact and learn a little bit about civic service, which I love. But again, if you are interested in coming to Coug Day, you have to sign up. So please scan the QR code, fill out the form. There is a hard deadline. This form will close on December 18th, so right before we go on winter break. You have up until January 5th to complete your training, but the form itself to sign up to come closes on December 18th. If you have questions, please reach out to me now. We're coming to the end of November, so December's just right around the corner, and then Coug Day's right after it. So again, hard deadline for the form. It will close on December 18th. There's nothing I can do to reopen it. We won't be allowing any more students, and that's across all the campuses. All campuses have to go and have their final head count on December 19th. So December 18th is the last day for you to sign up. If you have questions, just let me know. All right, Coug, so Pathway to Coug Day 4, Reflection, Impact, and Continued Advocacy. I'm really excited with this pathway. I feel like it's been a lot of fun. Each pathway is meant to help kind of build on the other one. So that way, when you come to Coug Day in January, you feel prepared. But what are you going to do? You're going to sign up with that QR code on the slide before. So just remember, Cougs, you are not alone when you come to Coug Day. There's going to be so many of us there. We are all Cougs. We have Adela, Moana, Rafia from Everett, and then me, Lexi, your captain, or, your doula. But I feel like I am leading our way through the yellow brick road of Pathway to Coug Day. So I gave myself a cool little emoji there. But I'm excited to introduce you to our next student. This is Hannah Kramer. She is your ASWCU president. She's a double major of psychology and English. Some of her favorite things are swimming, dancing, chocolate-covered gummy bears, and musicals. She wanted to be a musical theater major in another life and danced competitively in ballroom as a child. She also is a nerd like myself, but she's got really into quantum physics. And then another of things that she likes to read about is deep sea diving. Hyperfixation is her vibe. So if you have anything like that, definitely, strike up a conversation about maybe going into the deep, deep, dark sea. And then she had a hard time picking out a quote, but being a Lord of the Rings buff myself, she picked out one from J.R.R. Tolkien. Do not spoil the wonder with haste. I just imagine Gandalf saying that line. But I just think that's just tells you to take a moment. Enjoy the experience, which I think is really a great quote to think about with Coug Day. It's going to go by fast. The day goes by fast. It's a lot of fun. So just soak up the experience of being a student, going on a field trip, kind of, rewinding time and kind of going back to those days when we got to go on field trips. So and definitely enjoy it. If you see Hannah, say hi to her. And then the next one I want to talk about is someone from Everett. And again, Everett has been a huge part and a huge help to these training series. They've been helping with me, and they're also going and taking some of the things that we've been talking about and making their own training series and kind of collaborating. So we've been able to really work with each other. So I'm excited for you to introduce you to their Director of Legislative Affairs, Kendall. So Kendall is a strategic communications major. Favorite things are crafts, reading, travel, beach, linen sheets, cookies. And then she had a fun quote. If you know SpongeBob SquarePants, you might know this, but is mayonnaise an instrument? And I think that's just a good way to say, don't take life too seriously. Have fun, find joy, and just keep that energy as we keep moving on into Coug Day. So pillars of advocacy. With our Pathway to Coug Day, we have focused on the foundation, understanding the basics, understanding how to create like a short spiel. But now we're going and building up the walls. So with that, I've created 3 pillars for you to focus on: reflection, impact, and continued advocacy. So the 3 pillars for success: reflection, looking inward and backwards; impact, measuring outcomes and influence; and continued advocacy, sustaining momentum and change to inspire intentional action rooted in self-awareness and community impact. So our first pillar is reflection, the power of reflection. Why reflection matters. Think of a moment in your advocacy journey that changed you. What did it teach you about yourself, and what did it reveal the world? So these are questions I want you to think about through your Pathway to Coug Day journey. And also I want you to think about these questions at Coug Day. We might even do maybe a meeting out after Coug Day to kind of talk about the reflections. What did you gain? What did you learn? Reflection is going to ground you. It's also going to make sure that your voice is true because you're reflecting on it. You're coming through it. You're knowing the why, and that's going to help strengthen everything. It reveals growth. It tracks your values, strategies, your confidence. It builds resilience, helps you process setbacks, maybe reframe, and it informs future action, clarifies what you worked on, what didn't. You're going to think about everything, because the biggest thing to think about reflection too is who we are today is not who we are tomorrow. So you should constantly ask these questions. These are something I ask about myself all the time, and I might even rephrase it in a work setting, right? But what did it teach me? If I did something, what did I learn from it? What can I improve on it? The biggest thing I think just with this reflection is this is a skill that you can take with you anywhere, everywhere. There's always room for improvement. You're never going to learn everything and be at the top. You have to continue learning, continue reflecting. And also just remember, it's okay if you don't know everything. I think a lot of times, I know for me especially, because I try to be a perfectionist, but I'm not going to know it. And that is okay to know that I'm green. And the biggest thing I like to say is, at one point, everybody started off not knowing something. So when you reflect and you go and kind of ground yourself of what did you learn today, that's a win. And you're going to take that and you're going to keep growing. And again, I want you to just keep these questions with you. What did it teach you about yourself? And what did it reveal to the world? Impact. From idea to impact. What does impact mean? Impact is making your voice heard in this legislative process. It's not just about one day. It's about shaping conversations that last. Remember, we talked about that in Pathway to Coug Day too. It's remembering what can you do to make sure that your story is connecting, right? You want them to remember you. Students bring a unique perspective that legislators need to hear. They also want to hear from you. Impact also echoes. Raising awareness for student issues has long-term effects, even if we don't see immediate results. Change happens through relationships. Legislators want to meet you. They want to meet the next generation of leaders. That's you. Plant seeds for policy change. Our demographic will highlight a different perspective, so voice your perspective. And as global students, we bring in a whole nother layer of perspective, because maybe what's important for me as a mid-30-year-old is going to be different from a Pullman student who's probably in their early 20s or maybe 19. So our perspective brings such a wide range, and that's the best part about Coug Day and being one Coug, because we have so many students from different areas, different understanding, and we get to bring our voice. How do you make your impact? How do you echo that? How do you make sure they remember it? The anticipated impact of Coug Day is we raise awareness for student priorities, tuition, access, equity, resources. We build relationship with policymakers and staff. It strengthens WCU's presence on the Hill and, the credibility at the Capitol. They get so excited. It is really fun to see, because sometimes you'll run into legislators that are alumni and they just want to take pictures with you. And they know this is exciting. This is a a way for students to network, get involved, and it's just a fun, unique experience that we get to involve as Washington State University students. And then ultimately, we inspire to continue student involvement in civic service. Why student voices matter. We've talked about this multiple times through Pathway to Coug Day, but legislators often don't hear directly from students. So this is the time they can. They get to hear directly from you. Sharing lived experiences, making policy issues real. Remember, legislators work for us. That is their job, is to be our voice. So the best thing we can do is voice our concerns, voice why these things matter, why they should back what we're going to be talking about on our agenda. Advocacy shows that Cougs are engaged, we're informed, and we're invested in our communities, and not only Washington State University communities, but Washington State students of higher education communities. What we're going to be talking about probably matters to multiple students at different areas around the Washington State. How can you create an impact? Be prepared. Know your talking points. Know your stories. We've talked about this a lot. Be personal. Connect your issues with your own student experience, your own stories. Be professional, respectful, clear communications. Practice in the mirror. Remember, we talked all about that. Be persistent. Advocacy doesn't end after one meeting. So even though Coug Day is only a one-day thing, they're going to keep on working for it. Me, as your Director of Legislative Affairs, the goal is we work on things outside of Coug Day. So just because Coug Day is only one day, it doesn't mean it ends there. That's just like the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that you'll be able to continue to do because impact echoes. It creates ripples. So I wanted this to be a pillar because I wanted you to realize that your voice is so powerful and it can make change. And doing it on this stage will also help you in other impacts area where you can make an impact or you voice your concerns. It could be the listening sessions we do with ASWG. It could be maybe with a professor. It can do something maybe in your future at your career. But just remember, your voice has power. So be respectful. Be precise, and be your voice. You'll make your connection, stand your ground, and use your voice. So continue advocacy. You may think you're just a student, but be the change. Legislators listen to you because you represent not just today, not tomorrow, but they think 40, 50 years. You're the voting public. Your voice today shapes the policies for tomorrow. Your voice can help change what's happening tomorrow. Advocacy is not a moment, it's a movement. I like to think of advocacy as almost like a river. It's constantly turning. There might be rocks or things that might be obstacles that you might reroute and figure out how you're going to get around. How are you going to navigate those troubled waters? And then you might get to a nice little clearing where things are nice and smoother. But advocacy is constantly moving. It's constantly rushing. So you have to constantly be your voice. Be powerful. Be confident. Reflect. Be an impact. What can echo? Be the change. Advocacy is a living action. It's something that happens every single day and it never ends and it never should, right? An idea starts with one person. So I have a link here. It's called, and this is like the title on YouTube, First Follower Leadership Lessons from a Dancing Guy. I can't show it because this is a recording, but if you go and find this on YouTube, it literally has this guy, it's actually at the gorge, and he's dancing. He's dancing by himself, and he's kind of crazy, and he's dancing, he's waving his arms, and all of a sudden, and everyone's like looking at him and like kind of laughing at him because it's just this one guy dancing crazy to the singer that's singing. And all of a sudden, one person comes out and starts dancing with him and being crazy. And then another person comes. And then like 3 people show up. And then 4 people. And then out of nowhere, hundreds of people start running to this man. And they're all dancing crazy. And that is advocacy. That is being a leader. That is going and saying, I'm going to use my voice. And maybe I might be alone in this, but I'm going to keep doing it anyways. So outside of Coug Day, that's just how you can be a leader. Stand up and use your voice. In Coug Day, just remember, it all started by an idea, right? Coug Day was probably just a simple idea where to raise student voices. And now look at it. It's a historic annual event that we're so fortunate that we get to do this, but it probably started, who knows when the very first Coug Day was, and it was just an idea. Can we have students go represent Washington State University? And the answer is yes. It happened. We're living proof that change can happen. So if you want to see the change, be the change. Speaking up can feel intimidating, but passion fuels courage. So I believe in each and every one of you that's coming to these, that you guys have a voice and you guys can represent Washington State University so well at Coug Day. So just remember that you can do it, and then beyond just Coug Day, you can attend local town halls, campus forums. You can write op-eds or social media posts to raise awareness with different things that you're passionate about. You can also follow your favorite legislators and stuff on social media and see what they're doing just to stay up to date on things. You can join student government. Just FYI, we have positions opening up in March, so definitely follow our social media page and to find more information on that. But remember, small actions build long-term change. Nothing happens overnight. Sometimes you just kind of have to do little baby steps, and then finally you'll be able to pick up the pace and you'll actually see movement. You'll see things happening. I'm sure the first person that ever started Coug Day would have no idea that now there's over 100 students that get to participate with every single campus for Washington State University. And it probably all started out as an idea. So I want to end this Pathway to Coug Day with a quote that I really admire. I've definitely had this one for a long time in my back pocket. But unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is ever going to get better. Dr. Seuss, the Lorax. Stand up for what you believe in. When we go and lobby on behalf of Washington State University, we're passionate about what we're going to be talking about. Food inequality, the Washington State College Bill, making sure that they don't lower funds. There's all different things that we're hopefully going to be talking about. And we're passionate at Washington State University to make sure that our students are taken care of, that these things matter for our students. As Director of Legislative Affairs, we come together and make sure we voice why these things are so important for us. And so when we can have students that can help our voice, help those ideas, create that impact, we can make the change. And unless someone cares a whole awful lot, nothing's ever going to get better. So we're using our voice to make change for a better tomorrow and to better our other students, our other Cougars. So I just want to leave you with that. Thank you so much for attending. Please scan the QR code if you haven't done so already, so you can come to Coug Day in 2026. Again, January 25th and 26th. The deadline to sign up for Coug Day is on December 18th. If you have questions, you can email me at global.dola@wcu.edu. Other than that, again, my name is Alexis McLean, your Director of Legislative Affairs. Thank you so much for attending Pathway to Coug Day 4. I'm excited to go to Pathway to Coug Day 5 in December, but have a happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe. And again,